There's another aspect of Hanuman which is now part of our cultural icon. It's become a kind of a cultural icon. We worship him that way. It's there outside the door, inside as well, as a curious as well. Is this Panchamukhi Hanuman? Are there stories behind that?
There is a very interesting story about Panchamukhi Hanuman. Before that, let's understand that many of us know about Ravan's brothers as Vibhishan and Kumbhakarna. He had one more brother whose name was Mahiravan. Now, Mahiravan did not quite agree with Ravan's policies, and he was definitely dead against the whole thing about kidnapping Sita and waging a war. So but he used to stay in Paataal Lok. He was a master of occult sciences. So he was an expert in black magic and those kind of things. But because of his differences, he used to remain in Paataal Lok. When Meghnad dies and Ravan is kind of lost, thinking that just about by that time everybody was gone. Vibhishan had already defected, Kumbhakarna was dead, Meghnad he was banking on, now Meghnad is also dead. So he was kind of broken, and that's when his mother kind of reminds him about his brother, that is Mahiravan. Ravan sees this as a great opportunity, and he approaches his brother and he tells his brother, but Mahiravan is not willing to listen to anything because he had his differences and he did not quite agree with the whole thing. But somehow Ravan manages to convince him by saying that you are a worshipper of goddess Kali. Right? And what better offering can you give to goddess Kali than sacrifice of two Shreshth Nar, or the most well-known men, and that is Ram and Lakshman. So you should offer sacrifices of Ram and Lakshman, your goddess will be very happy. That's one thing that kind of motivates Mahiravan, because he was a great devotee of goddess Kali. So he decides to help out. The news immediately reaches everybody else in Ram's camp, and Vibhishan is now worried because Vibhishan is the brother, so he knows all the qualities.
The power that he has.
The power and the qualities. The quality here is a very important aspect. Mahiravan, because he knew black magic, could take any form, just about any form you can imagine. So Vibhishan was worried. He informed everybody, and he said that Ram and Lakshman must be taken very good care of and should be guarded from anybody's presence. So Ram and Lakshman were kept in a cottage, and Hanuman was made to guard Ram and Lakshman. Mahiravan tries many ways, but he's unable to enter the hut. At some point of time, he takes the form of Vibhishan himself. Okay? And he tells that I need to go and talk to Ram. Obviously, Hanuman did not have any reasons to doubt, and he allowed Mahiravan, who was in the disguise of Vibhishan, to go inside. As soon as he goes inside, he changes his form, he takes these two, digs a hole from the hut, and straight away from there goes to Paataal Lok. After a long time, Vibhishan comes to meet Ram, and that's when they realize that this has already happened. So now and since they did not come out, it was assumed that he had gone from there itself. What Hanuman does, and remember, Hanuman is also the only person who can take any form, right? He had that power. So he takes the form of a small creature and he goes inside. When he goes, he digs deep and he's about to enter into what is known as Paataal Lok when he's stopped by a character, right? His name is Makardhwaj. We will talk about Makardhwaj later. There is a small battle that happens between him and Makardhwaj, and Makardhwaj then takes him to the place where Ram and Lakshman have been prisoned. He goes there and he understands what's happening. And Hanuman approaches goddess Kali to say that if he's offered sacrifice of these two, you should say no. So goddess Kali says, it's not going to be easy for me to say that, for the simple reason is that Mahiravan has been my devotee, so you'll have to think of something else. So Hanuman thinks of something else, and he tells Ram and Lakshman that tomorrow, the next day, whenever whenever Mahiravan comes for your sacrifice, you tell him that you don't know how to bend low. Why? Ram is a Kshatriya, and Kshatriyas don't know how to bow or bend. Just do this much.
Okay.
Next day, when Mahiravan comes and he asks Ram to bend because he wants to sever his head, Ram says the same thing. Sigla, I'm a Kshatriya. I have never learned to bend my head. Can you show me how to do it? And as soon as he does that, Hanuman, who was hiding behind the idol of Kali, takes the axe and beheads Mahiravan. Right? However, this does not answer how Hanuman gets 5 heads.
Yeah, I was actually leading to that.
So I'll come to that. So there are 2 versions to it. The second version goes the same as the first, except that Mahiravan is unable to understand how to kill. Hanuman is unable to understand how to kill Mahiravan. So he learns that there are 5 flames in the temple, but they have to be blown off together.
Okay, all at once.
All at once. You cannot blow off the flames one by one. And how do you do that? For that you need to have 5 faces. And that's how Hanuman gets 5 faces. And just before the sacrifice is about to happen, Hanuman blows off the 5 flames together. And that's how Mahiravan gets eliminated. Right?
Okay.
If you want to know how Mahiravan came to know that there are these 5 flames, then there is another interesting story which is borrowed from another version of Ramayana.
Okay. This doesn't appear in
the popular versions of it.
Okay.
Now, somehow Hanuman is unable to understand what to do. So, what he does is, he takes the form of a bangle seller. And he goes to Mahiravan's house, to sell bangle. And while showing bangles, he says, so Mahiravan's wife says that I will buy the bangles, but I'm unable to pay money to you. So you go today, come tomorrow. He says, why can't you pay money? So he says, I can't pay money to you because my husband is not there. Okay. So he says, where's your husband? And while talking, the glib talk that Hanuman resorts to, he finds out that this is the details, and the life of her husband is in the 5 flames. Of course, the story goes on for some real gory details, but we'll skip that part of it. And thus we see that Hanuman develops 5 faces, and he blows off the this thing, and he takes Ram and Lakshman back. And if you see many representations you will find of Hanuman carrying Ram and Lakshman on his shoulders. So this is the way when he brings and underneath, if you see the same picture properly, under Hanuman's feet is a small demon-like face, and that's your Mahiravan. So if you see, the iconography has been well designed for that, wherein we see that he saves Ram and Lakshman, he takes them on his shoulders, he kills Mahiravan, and he leaves. And these 5 faces are interesting. Out of the 5 faces, one is of course Hanuman's. The second is of Hayagriv. The third is of Narasimha. The fourth is Garud. And the 5th is Varaha. So if you see, all except Hanuman's faces, all are associated with Vishnu. So here we find that Hanuman is at this point equated with none other than Vishnu himself. And I think these are iconographic details which have kind of been derived much later, as the cult following of one god versus another god comes into being.